So, tonight, I am hearing Icarus by Bastille. Let's see what the message is through this song. Now, before I even shuffle, the Knight of Pentacles. The song says, "Look who's digging their own grave. That is what they all say. You'll drink yourself to death. Look who makes their own bed, lies right down within it, and what will you have left? Out the front doorstep, drinking from a paper cup. You won't remember this. Living beyond your years, acting out all their fears. You feel it in your chest. Your hands protect the flames from the wild winds around you." Your hands protect the flames from the wild winds around you. The chaos that is around you. The Hanged Man. Sorry, still trying to get used to where it is. Standing on the cliff face, highest fall you'll ever grace. It scares me half to death. Look out to the future, but it tells you nothing. So take another breath. Your hands protect the flames from the wild winds around you. Why? What does that mean? What do you mean? Your hands protect the flames from the wild winds around you. And then it goes on to say, the chorus, Icarus is flying too close to the sun, and Icarus's life, it has only just begun. This is how it feels to take a fall. Icarus is flying towards an early grave. I see what they are saying. The fall. The Hanged Man is representing the falls that you have had to take to get where you're at now. And some of those falls, you almost felt as if you weren't going to get back up. Particularly, possibly about 2 years ago, it felt that way. Your mental health was struggling big time. The Knight of Pentacles is you holding on for dear life, trying to get through this moment, what brought you down to fall. And this was a very mental thing for you. This was something that you were battling yourself mentally with what you were going through. Not that you were causing this. You were going through something, but this brought you so low, and that is why this song is resonating with this message. You put up your defenses when you leave. You leave because you're certain of who you want to be. Overcoming the fall. Holy crap. The Chariot. The darkness that you endured because of what was happening to you and where it put you mentally, you're finally seeing the light, the path, the help that you've been getting from not only spirit, but yourself, what you did for yourself to get yourself out of that mentality. Holy crap. These, and then that. Okay. Whew. The Knight of Cups. Whatever this was that put you down that far, it involved a mass number of people, like a corporation. That's what it feels like, a corporation. Well, not what it feels like, just the mass amounts that there was just a lot of involvement in this. And you felt like you had no control. You had no way to come out of this. And then it just hit. Yep. You saw no way out of this, and it just hit. And when it hit, you went so far down mentally, physically, spiritually, you lost all hope, all of it. And it tested you. The Six of Cups. This threw you into, I'm going to do this. I am going to fix this. Now I know what it feels like to take a fall. I am not hitting an early grave. I am not allowing this to overcome me. I'm not allowing this to take me out because it's not worth it. And you started to see that. You started having your faith again. You were questioning your faith in the midst of this happening. You were questioning it. And one of the reasons, what are these, like curtains? What the heck is going on here? Oh my God, I can't. Did you see that? Now it won't do it. It was a one-time thing. Rewind. Anyway. Oh my God, like I feel it, like it hurts in here. It was a spiral. I just see spiraling. That's what happened. This incident happened dealing with this corporation, caused you to plummet, pretty much. You felt there was no way out. There was no way around it. There was nothing you could do to fix it. And you are someone who likes to be in control of pretty much everything that you can be. And as much as that's a beautiful thing, that can also be a flaw when it comes to a situation where you absolutely cannot control, like this. And ultimately, you lose sight of how to control the situation then for yourself, to be able to deal with it yourself. Three of Swords. But what I am hearing is this did not happen to in any way, shape, or form put you through hell, is what I'm hearing. So don't look at it that way, because in that time frame of all this happening, you were losing track of yourself, of your self-love, of your self-reliance. You were losing track of who you are. And that is why you got jolted into this situation, because number one, you were losing yourself. Number two, you were losing your connection and your faith. And you have always been a very faith-driven person, regardless of what you believe. If you've watched any of my other videos, I don't judge anybody. I promote and support everybody embracing their beliefs, their gods, God, whatever you believe. So there's no shame, there's no hate, there's no nothing. Everybody believes in what they believe in. All it comes down to is the fact that you lost your faith in everything that was going on in your life. Everything, because of this happening. And this is why you were catapulted into this situation, because you were finding yourself doing and acting and saying things that were very out of character. And Spirit knew it. Spirit knew that you were losing control. And because you were someone who, in a sense, has to be in control, which again, there's nothing wrong with that, unless it is literally out of your control, that's when you start to spiral. They so gently just flowed out of that. That was funny. I feel like those cards will be a little more sympathetic in the situation. Just the way they came out. They were just like, yeah, see? The world. I have to cover her lumps and bumps. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know if I will get in trouble for that. You have a mentality of seeing things in such a beautiful light. And this situation was causing you to not be able to see any of that in anything, even in your own life. You were so distracted by the nonsense and the chaos that this was causing that you couldn't focus on any of the good. And this is why this is resonating. Where is it? Where does it say it? Because I want to say it right. Oh, where did it go? Your hands protect the flames from the wild winds around you. You were literally trying so hard to protect yourself from the flames, from the chaos, from all the nonsense. And you couldn't. You couldn't. Because of what was going on. And that's why then it says Icarus is flying too close to the sun. The flames, you were involved in a situation with people that were toxic, and the corporation was toxic. And this is why you started to become out of character. It was affecting you spiritually. But you were still there. You were hidden. Possibly because you felt like you had to hide in this situation. You couldn't fully let yourself be you in that atmosphere. Because your strength, your stamina, your head held high, your determination to stand your ground in situations, that was definitely threatening to a lot of people in that corporation. And that is why you were looked at as a threat. Crazy pants, man. Ay, Dios. But I tell you what. Because of your spirit team, your ancestors, your gods, whatever you believe, and the fact that not only do you see the beauty in everything, but because you are the world, judgment. Judgment, my friends. You walked away from that situation with your tail between your legs. That's what I'm hearing. With your tail between your legs. Your head was down. Your tail was between your legs. Your health was suffering in the process of it because you were so stressed out. Stress is a killer. Remember that little bat? But judgment is coming in for this, and it's going to take time because this was a big corporation, a big situation, but judgment is coming. And little by little, you are going to be rewarded for not only surviving the situation, but for coming back to faith, for finding the trust from up above, because 9 of Pentacles comes out right after that. Not to mention, because it threw you in, I need to fix myself, you wound up pretty much opening doors in a good way, good things for you, that puts you in situations where you don't see yourself the same anymore, and it's for the better. You're feeling better about yourself. You're feeling better about your body. You're feeling better about yourself mentally. You're making health changes with food and the things that you incorporate in your life. If you did not hit this rock bottom fall, you wouldn't have changed. It wouldn't have changed. And it could have been worse off, because if you kept going the way you were going, your health would have been very depleted off of this situation. The Hierophant. That is you. That is you. I cannot, this right here, after the 9 of Pentacles, the 2 of Wands, you started seeing paths opening. You started seeing what you were doing. You were seeing results, and you still continue to see these results. And this is your push. This is your drive to continue to go the route that you're going, because it's all good for you. It's all good. All right, that came out a little slappy. Oh, you too? Okay. Oh, you too? Okay. Okay. Somebody has a lot to say tonight. My goodness. See, I try to keep them short, but it just doesn't happen. I actually want to go live soon. I'm nervous. I've gone live on Facebook, but not on TikTok yet. The King of Pentacles. You definitely scared mother effers where you were. And that's another reason why you were being treated the way that you were. You scared these people. Because of your determination and because of you just straight out like, this is bull crap. I'm not doing this. And voicing, a lot of voicing the things that you saw that were happening that were wrong or inappropriate. And that scared people. That definitely scared some people, but it scared them in a sense as you were being a threat. Because what comes when you sit in this kind of seat? When you walk with your head held high and you have confidence in yourself, you're going to get one of 2 reactions. You're either going to get a reaction of, wow, look at her. She is just glowing. That is amazing that she can just be there in herself like that and be confident. That's awesome. Or you have people who see this as a threat. She says too much. She's speaking stuff that we don't want to bring to the table. 10 of Cups. So it didn't matter how crappy it was getting where you were. Yes, mentally and physically, you were completely depleted, and it was affecting you big time. They definitely hit you hard, for sure. But, you see all that? You see all that? How it's just this white crow in the clouds? That is you. That is you. They knocked you down thinking that was it. They got rid of you. They were done with you. They didn't have to deal with you, and you were just going to be quiet. But that didn't happen. You went out with a bang. You didn't get to do and say everything you wanted to, but you left your mark with these people, let me tell you. Let me tell you. You left, and I'm laughing because they're laughing. They are like, honey, you think that you left with your tail between your legs, but let me tell you something. These people, they will never, ever forget your name or your face because of what you did. Because of the strength that you showed, regardless of what was going on. Yeah. This was them. To you. 5 of Pentacles. They were trying so hard to just beat you down. It was like beating a dead horse. Beating a dead horse. That's what they were doing. Except you weren't dead. It was like you were playing dead. It's like the humor. Your spirit team is jokesters, man. My gosh. They said possum. A possum. But look. You may have had to walk away from this situation. You may have felt that you walked away with your tail between your legs, but no, you didn't. No, you did not. I'm telling you, just hearing your name makes them feel some sort of way. You left an imprint that they cannot erase, they cannot get rid of, they cannot hide, because you left an imprint within the corporation. So everybody has talked about you, heard about you. And no, it's not to gloat, but it's because what you did to stand your ground while you were there, the little bit that you put out, you're unforgettable there. I tell you what, because no. They can't come back from that. They just can't. And the Star card is showing your full connection. It sucks, and I hate even saying it like that, because trust me when I tell you, I have been in these situations as well in my past. And I'm sure in the future other things will come up as well. That's part of the cycle. It just keeps going. But the beautifulness in this is, if this did not happen, you would not have done the changes that you needed to do. Not at least when they needed to be done. And I hate saying the word need. I wish there was another word to use that I could think of. But it was better for things to change when it did. And again, your health was super important. Your health was being extremely affected by this. So if it would have prolonged any longer, it could have possibly it could have possibly enhanced a health issue that you can't get rid of. That's what they're saying. So be thankful. Not necessarily that you were in that situation, but be thankful that even though you let your spirit team down because you stopped believing, they still had your back. They were still like, okay, well, now we're going to push you into this. Knight of Wands. My goodness. My goodness. It is just, see, it's, you walked away in a sense of feeling defeated, but the joke is on them, because that threw you into just becoming this much more powerful, badass mother effer, let me tell you. And in a great way, not in a bad way. You don't abuse your privileges. You don't abuse the confidence. You're not that type of person at all. But you were so down in the dumps that you had absolutely no confidence in yourself at all. This was affecting how you saw yourself in the mirror. So the fact that you were able to turn that completely around and now look at yourself and go, I love me for me. Everything that I am and everything you see, I love me for me. And that is golden. Golden. The Knight of Swords. It helped you to learn how to stand your ground. This situation helped you to realize when things are toxic and when you need to let them go and not allow that toxicity around you anymore. That taught you that. Maybe a possum is also significant. Maybe you've seen one, or you will see one very soon, and that's kind of, well, not kind of. Confidently, I'm saying it's confirmation for you. Oh, yes, yes. Oh, they're just slapping out. Oh, my God, I'm going to have to do a part 4. Sorry. Right? Part 4? Are we on part 4? The Queen of Pentacles. Confidence. Confidence. Thank you. Thank you. The Eight of Wands. You left there feeling like your world was crumbling. You did. But it forced you into, look, to see the light. To see the light, to believe in your faith again, to trust and believe that there were better things on this road for you. That there was a reason that that had to complete the way that it did. Now you're seeing that, or you're going to start seeing that now. Did I say that right? You're going to start seeing it that way now. I think I said that weird. Eight of Cups. I could tell you this. Yes, that was a lesson learned 100%. And that was probably one of the hardest lessons for you. Not the hardest, and not going to be your last, but definitely one of the hardest that you have had to approach in a very long time. And that defeat feeling that you were feeling off of that situation, even just thinking about it or just talking about it with somebody, you feel defeated. But I'm telling you right now, and I say this all the time, trust, because they know, see, and hear everything that happens. So when people treat people this way, and you happen to be on the receiving end of it, and you are the person you are, this good-hearted, genuine, beautiful person, you are a threat because of that. So when their judgment comes in, which it's going to, they are confirming that, be ready. Be ready, because I definitely see some paperwork involved. Be ready. Your justice will come in. It'll take time, but it will come in little by little. And depending on how certain people treated you will depend on how you get rewarded. And what I mean by that, when I say depending on how they treated you, certain people were just downright vindictive and played games and used your name and you as a pawn, pretty much, to play with. Others were just guilty by association. So it doesn't matter whether they touched it with their pinky or they grabbed it with their whole hand. What they put out, they will get back. And let me tell you, this is a big karmic cycle. that's going on for you. Because no matter what was happening to you, no matter how many people were hurting you, no matter how many times you went home in tears, you still faced the next day with a smile on your face. You laughed, you joked with certain people, you still showed up. Either way, you showed up. You might have been feeling like, oh my God, I don't want to go, but you still did it. You still did it. Even though that situation was absolutely horrendous, is what I'm hearing. Horrendous. The link's coming in with secrets. I know what that means. That means their secrets will no longer be secrets. There's skeletons in their closet that they hung up of this situation with you. Now they're out walking around for everyone to see. You do not get away with hurting someone, especially someone like you, who is just a good person. It just doesn't happen. There's repercussions for that. There is repercussions for that for sure. This karmic cycle is in your favor. 100%. The gorilla coming in with peace. You have found your peace in this situation, but this is going to close that door and fully give you peace of the situation. I can't see. I can't see. Make sure you pay attention to that possum thing. For some reason, that keeps standing out, the possum. And I pulled the animal oracle to do this, so interesting. Release. Release it. You lived it. You survived it. You overcame it. Just release it. The karmic cycle is playing in your favor. Just release it. Let it go. Because don't ever forget it. And you can remember things and forgive without allowing it back in your life. Remember that. Remember that. And that for some reason is very big in this message. You can forgive and move on, but that doesn't mean that you have to go back. It doesn't mean that you have to owe anybody an apology. It doesn't mean that you have to allow people back in that were involved in this situation. You don't even owe an explanation. You don't need to explain yourself. They know what they did. They know what they did. And they thought they were playing with somebody that had no voice. But you do. So, and you did while you were there. And that's exactly why they tried to test the waters. And that is not good. That is not good at all. See, what did I say? What's that? Snow leopard? The Watchers. Even though you lost touch with your faith, your spirit team was surrounding you every single day that you were there. They were watching everything that was going on. And when they started to see your character change, that's when they knew things needed to change. Because they were looking out for your happiness. And where you were was not a happy place. It does not have happy people there. They live off of the drama. I see them just a lot of drama, a lot of things that were wrong. Not good. And you were not ever meant to be in that type of atmosphere. You were never meant to surround yourself with those types of people. Nope. Absolutely not. Strategy. The red fox. Your spirit team strategically had this happen for you. Because it did nothing but good things afterwards. You reacted exactly how you needed to. And you brought stability back into your life. You brought stability back to yourself mentally. And look, they're confirming. You made a huge sacrifice here. You did. You made an enormous sacrifice going through this. You absolutely did. Even down to this corporation was what put food on the table. You made a huge sacrifice in doing with what you had to do. But it is so rewarding afterwards. Oh my God. Your karmic cycle is starting, and I'm telling you, you're going to see a lot of things happen right before your eyes. You're going to hear things, and it's going to revolve around that situation. And guess who's going to be on the benefiting end? You. Transformation. This sacrifice that you put out for this puts you in that transformation mode. You dug your way out and said, absolutely not, I'm not going down like this. You were down there for a little while and you're like, what? This is not who I am. I'm a fighter. And it's true. And this is exactly why you were a threat. Authenticity. You are different than many other people. And just like that wolf in the picture, you stood your ground and looked right at these people. There was no hesitation of, I'm still going to say what I need to say. Still going to say what I need to say. This was at the bottom of the deck before I started shuffling. I wanted to see if it came back out. Reliability. My dears, all I can say is that memory, cut that tie of it being a traumatic tie, because it puts you in the seat of receiving. And it's all good from here, I could tell you that. But you gotta let that tie go of every time you think of it, you get these negative thoughts. You can still talk about it, but don't let it get to you that way. Don't let it get to you that way. And your spirit team says hello and welcome back. They missed you. They were watching you from afar. And now they're so much closer with you. And they're so happy about that. And they know you are too, because you see the difference. You feel the difference. And there's a lot of good things coming your way. That karmic cycle is rolling your way. I love you. Peace.